When I think of my life, I think of all the challenges and struggles that I faced. Like I talked about, the highs and lows, the ups and downs. There's a lot of good stuff that's happened. There's a lot of bad memories that have happened. And somewhere in between all of that, I gotta stay solid with myself. I gotta keep it 100, I gotta stay true to myself. Because if I don't stay true to myself, who's gonna keep it true for me? My name is LOG Rez. Yate, She'e Ya, LOG Rez Yin She. Tohe Glini Son Nana Shede Touchini Boshishin. Ki Ani Dashi Che Auto Hatsoi Dashinala. I've always played with the concept of LOG Rez only because, LOG stands for Living Opportunities Good. Everything that I do, everything that I put out always has some sort of meaning, some sort of definition behind it. I would say I discovered music at a young age of maybe like 7 or 8. My auntie would listen to 50 Cent, Tupac, a lot of West Coast stuff in the back room, I should say, at my grandma's house. And my mom has all weirdly been around music. The environment at my grandma's was an environment that was kind of up and down. So, there was a lot of happy times, there was a lot of bad times. There's a lot of beauty in it. A lot of people talk about the images of the background, the sunset, the quietness. Even Johnny Cash talks about it in one of his tracks, talking about Gallatin, Mexico, talking about the red rocks and the turquoise and silver that his Navajos wear. That's the good side of it. That's the good that everybody doesn't really see, unfortunately, because all of the bad is represented a whole lot more. Sort of the bad stuff that we come up around will be alcoholism, addiction, domestic violence, gang violence. It's not really an ideal place to grow up in if you, I would just say, if you really want to make moves for yourself, you have to leave the res. And that's just something that my generation and my parents' generation has really struggled with, because all of this is pretty much fairly new to us. It ain't pretty. You can dream all you want. You can pray all you want. You can do everything in your power to make sure things will go your way. But at the end of the day, if it don't, then it just don't, and that's just res life. You kind of go with what you got, what you're given, and just pray for the best. So I turned 18, I was a senior in Tohatchee. I graduated number 3 in my class, and the only other option besides military is that you got to go to school. So I ended up getting accepted to UNM and ASU, so I just kind of decided where I wanted to go to. I ended up going to school for mechanical engineering. I did 5 years for that. My minor would be Native American Studies. Did that for about 2 years, and I decided to take a break whenever the good, the bad, and the ugly started to happen. I lost some very close family members. One of my grandparents was in the hospital, and it was just kind of a hectic time in my life. Once again, the writing aspect came back, and so I started writing it out. Everything that I felt, everything that I was going through. So the Fulcrum was kind of like the catalyst in me bringing all of these problems, all of these troubles, all of this stuff to the world, because not a lot of people know where we're at. Not a lot of people know natives exist. People think we still live in teepees sort of deal. Like they may have seen the dances and wolves, natives, but they haven't seen my 491 native. Music stuff isn't really new to us natives because we've always used it. It's just now in the contemporary times, now in these different times we're changing, you got to change the way you have your traditional songs and your prayers. This music stuff that I'm doing right now, it's just my generation's way of dealing with our trauma, dealing with our past, making sense of things that people always say doesn't make sense. In our culture, there's a ceremony where we put the smoke back in their fire, to give all of our burdens, to give all of the things that we've been thinking that have been bugging us back, to Mother Earth, so that way it doesn't bother us no more. The only tool that I have is my music. That's my way of putting the smoke back into the fireplace. and giving back to the world all of my problems, all my issues, all my burdens. And on top of that, I get to let the world know what it's like where I'm from. I get to give my area a pedestal so everybody from my area can be proud where we're from.
World full of squirrels trying to get a nut, trying to stay out this quarrel, so I roll it up. Just know it's all love when LOG pull up. Just know I'm finna score when LOG pull up. Life's rough, been going through it while my dogs buying pull-ups. Hustling hard, hope the cops don't pull up. Eldest dogging my dogs cause the pants they don't pull up. Too comfortable, can't tie in the belt. Been broke, you don't know how that felt. Can't go broke, my mentality don't work like that. Try to stay woke whenever I smoke like that. I'm headed to the stove, I'ma be right back. Got a freestyle in my head, need it on my back. In the studio all night, still don't need no nap. No cap, trying to put my town on the map. Yeah, trying to put my town on the map.